This is the final part of Clause 8 and the last component of the standard for the do phase. The parent standard ISO 45001 does not have a mirror clause relating to rehabilitation and return to work. However, employment law typically imposes legal obligations on employers to establish a process to facilitate recovery and rehabilitation after an employee has experienced a work-related injury or illness. These obligations will typically include requirements to provide structured and controlled return to work processes to reduce the likelihood that the employee will experience a relapse in their recovery. This clause in the standard can help employers ensure they are meeting those obligations where an employee has experienced a psychological injury or illness. As with many of the previous clauses, you'll probably already have a system in place to manage the recovery and return to work process for physical injuries and illnesses. You should review and revise your rehabilitation and return to work processes to ensure that they provide appropriate support to workers who have been exposed to psychosocial hazards and experience a negative impact, including where this has resulted in an absence from work. Your processes should provide for early identification and intervention, as this will assist in reducing the severity and duration of the impact. To encourage early reporting of issues, you should demonstrate your commitment to confidentiality of personal information and provide a work environment that is supportive and respectful. The standard recommends that you provide access to or information about services available to provide support, including occupational health counselling, mediation and debriefing services. You should speak with each affected worker to understand the reasonable work adjustments that can be made to assist them in recovering or returning to work. Finally, you should ensure that managers and supervisors are competent in the application of your rehabilitation and return to work processes, and that they understand the legal and other requirements that are applicable to your work context. That brings us to the end of Module 4 and the do phase. The next module will take us through the check and act phases.